This is Joshua Hart here, 4 seconds out. Delighted to be joined by Dillian Whyte here at Box Park in London. Dean, it's a huge fight week. Usyk versus Dubois 2, the big rematch. First of all, thank you for your time, and how is everything?
All is well, man. I can see today was a humdinger. It's very, very hot in here. I was sweating like nobody's business when I got in here. But you know, we're starting to cool down. But look, Saturday night's going to be huge, man. This is a chance at redemption for Daniel Dubois to staple and cement his name in heavyweight boxing as one of the best. If he can dethrone Usyk, the man that beat all the other men, then he'll probably be one of our greatest of all time coming from the UK. And I think it's a great story because after the Joe Joyce defeat, everyone, we all rubbed him out, said he's a dud and this and that. And, you know, big up my man again, Don Charles, has brought him back mentally, physically, skill set. He's got a wonderful jab, strong jab. Hopefully he uses that well, goes upstairs, downstairs, and tries to set a trap, you know, to get that big right hand. But listen, it's not going to be easy. We're talking about the best of the best. Usyk, what a talent as an amateur, came in, dominated as a cruiserweight, dominated as a heavyweight. It's not going to be easy, but does Father Time catch up on him? Is this an opportunity for Daniel to steal the thunder and catch him with these big shots and get him out of there? I don't know. It's going to be hard work, you know. But look, I'm looking forward to the fight Saturday night, and hopefully, you know, Daniel does it and he brings all the belts home back to the UK. Because there'll be some huge fights here for him after that. You know what I mean? UK will be humming if he does that. But look, it's a tall order, so let's see what happens.
You mentioned Don Charles and the improvements made. How impressed are you with those improvements, and what do you think Daniel's biggest improvement has been since going to Don Charles?
I think it's all the mentality. Everything's about mentality, and that mentality, if you can build that fortitude and get someone to believe they are what you say they are, and Don's done great at that. Even Don talking to me, he convinces me to change my mind when I'm talking to him about stuff. He's so good at persuasion and getting into the mind. And I think he's done good at that. Daniel's always been talented. Daniel's always had one of the best jabs. He's always been one of the biggest punchers with that right hand. So it's all come together now. And let's see if Don can pull it off. Got one more rodeo to be able to pull it off and you know, become something huge in the history books.
One thing that a lot of people have spoke about is Usyk split with his long-time partner Alex Kraschuk, and a lot of people are kind of hinting towards Usyk gearing up for retirement maybe. Do you see it similar to that? What do you read into it?
It could have an effect, because sometimes all these things, it affects your mentality, it affects your thought process, it affects your training camp. When certain things are going on and you're having, you know, issues with this considered family because it's been with you a long time, like, or if you had stuff with your missus, so you're emotionally drained and so on. So let's see, but I think Usyk's a professional, and I think he'll be able to block all the noise out and perform Saturday night. And let's hope Daniel performs out of his skin to deliver what we want him to deliver and bring those belts home.
If I was to ask you for a prediction for this main event on Saturday, who would you go with?
I'm going to be going with Daniel all the way. I think it's a long, hard shot, but I am going to be rooting for him, and I hope they can put out a game plan. I hope they can maybe catch Usyk with that body shot again, or maybe that big right, left hook, whatever it is, and bring those belts back home, get that undisputed, get those rematch with Joshua, get that fight with Fury, get that fight maybe with Dillian if he's got all those belts, and you know what I mean? But Dillian's got a big fight of his own to worry about right now. But I mean, there's so much opportunity, it's endless if he brings those belts back here. We are the home of boxing, the UK. The British fans are the best in the world, and we deserve our belts to be here, back here.
Absolutely. You mentioned Dillian in a big fight. He's got Moses Itauma, which is
big fight.
a huge step for Moses, and a lot of people are saying career on the line for Dillian heading into a fight like this.
Yeah,
what do you mean?
Obviously, I can understand why they would say that, because, you know, like, it's like you're being put to the slaughter. They're saying, you know, he hasn't been fighting regular. The last couple of performances maybe not have been so good. So you know, they're looking at him like he's at the right time for the picking. But you know, we believe they've made a mistake. It's too early for Moses, and Dillian's going to show him on August the 16th. Moses and his brother, I like them both. Very talented, very humble, nice lads. But I think this might have come too soon for them. But yet again, listen, we only can tell, man. Look, big punching southpaw, very technical, very skillful, and they've done really great with him. His coaches, what he's got.
Where does Dillian have an advantage in this fight? Where do you believe he's the stronger fighter?
I think Dillian's experience, his mindset. Dillian's jab is underrated as well. Obviously, it's different when you're fighting a southpaw because it's from the opposite side, man, and you get caught more with shots you don't really see. But I just think that Dillian's mindset, and I think you know, that experience is going to play a big factor. Dillian doesn't like to be, what's the word I'm looking for? He doesn't like to be like, you know, put in a box. And he wears his heart on his sleeve. So him, when he feels probably like there's a gripe and he's got something to prove, it's a bad place to be. You know what I mean?
Who would you say there's more pressure on? Who would you say there's more pressure on going into this? Is this live on camera?
You see it? You good, yeah? Yeah, you too. Man.
Who would you say there's more pressure on, Moses or Dillian?
I think there's pressure on both guys, man. Because it's a coming out for Moses in terms of it's the biggest fight of his career against a big, strong guy. There's a lot of pressure on him. There'll probably be a lot of pressure. To be honest, there'll probably be more pressure on Moses because he's the star boy they're going to be pushing. He's the guy they believe is going to be the face of heavyweight boxing.
Tyson Fury has made the headlines recently and announcing another comeback.
Who's he coming back against?
He said Usyk trilogy, April 18th, 2026.
Yeah, why not? Why not? And I think I did see that somewhere in the UK. He's saying, you know what? I think he was hard done by in some of those fights. I think personally, I don't think he lost both those fights. I think they maybe should bring it back here, and let's see, you know, how that kind of fares. Tyson, hell of a fighter. You know, definitely one of the greatest of our era out of the UK. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Did you ever believe that Tyson was retired when he said it back in January?
No, there's too much money on the line for Tyson, man. Way too much money. No chance. These boys have got a lot of money, them big boys at the top, 80, 70 million. Why would you retire when you can go and do that? If you lose, it's nothing. You've lost already now, so worrying about undefeated records gone. So hell no, he can make 100 million, 120 million. All he's doing is he's putting the price up because now they're going to have to encourage him and coax him out of retirement. So that's why he does that. He's a smart lad.
If it's not Usyk next for Tyson, who do you want it to be?
Joshua. It's a bit past his sell-by date, but that's still a big fight that the English people would want to see, fans.
Who would you make the favourite in that fight? Who do you believe would win?
Let's see how Joshua comes back in September, October. Then we'll have an idea where Joshua is in terms of mentality. Obviously, he's coming off a devastating knockout loss against Daniel Dubois. We don't know where he is. We don't know where his mind is. You know, I don't know where if he can take a punch. You know, or, you know, sometimes it's kind of there's things that affect you. But I'm a big Anthony Joshua fan. I wish him well. I hope he does come back, and I'm rooting for him to come back and do some good things in the boxing. Hopefully, he can fight Dillian and Fury and the other guys. You know what I mean?
Just lastly, obviously, you mentioned wanting to see how he comes back. Who do you think would make that good comeback opponent for AJ? Looking around the heavyweight scene.
I'm not sure, just off the cuff. I think Miller's a good fight for AJ. Baby Miller's a big tough lad, and he's going to be there all night. So, but obviously, yeah, I'm not sure. I think he's a tough target, and Anthony can, you know, jab him to death and throw that 1-2 down the pipe and do some damage. So, but he needs to get back on the saddle sooner than later, though. That's what it is, because we don't want this thing to fester too long. He needs to get back, get his confidence back, and get a win, and then see what's on the table for him.
That's it, Dean. Thank you for your time.
Thanks
good to speak.
much, guys.
I'm sure I'll see you later on in the week anyway.
Right, take care.
Perfect. Top man, Dean.